Ahead on News 3 at 10, an officer-involved shooting in Madison is being turned over to independent investigators. We have the latest from the scene. And people in Sauk County are hoping the weather will hold out and flooding waters can recede along the Baraboo River.
This is News 3 at 10.
A man is in the hospital tonight after an officer-involved shooting on Madison's northeast side. News 3's Adam Duxter is on the scene and joins us now with the details. Adam.
I'm on Madison's northeast side near the corner of 7th Street in Upham, where police are still investigating after earlier today they got a call of a domestic dispute. When they showed up, the suspect showed them a knife and threatened them. That is when they took a shot. They say tonight he is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Around 4 p.m. today, Madison police responded to a call of domestic dispute on Madison's northeast side. After police caught up to the suspect involved, they say that's when he threatened them.
At one point, he presented a knife and words to the effect of, "It's you or me."
That's when the officer involved took action, a single shot to end the threat. Chief Koval says no officers were harmed.
My officers are fine, thankfully. The officer who was involved in the actual shooting of this suspect is a 16-year veteran of the Madison Police Department.
It comes as a surprise for the people in this northeast neighborhood. Alder Larry Palm saying neighbors have been concerned since it happened.
As always, when people see a large police presence, there's a little bit of concern.
But says this isn't indicative of this neighborhood.
Northeast side is a juncture point for the city of Madison, and there's lots of people who live here and lots of people who visit people who live here, and lots of people do good things here, and there's unfortunately some people who do bad things here.
Now, as for the officers involved right now, they are being put on paid leave. As behind me, you can still see the Department of Criminal Investigations still looking into the scene. Chief Koval tells us the officers involved were not wearing body cameras, but a nearby parked police cruiser. They say the dash camera on that was able to potentially pick up what happened. So again, still a very fluid situation here on Madison's northeast side, but that suspect tonight in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. Madison police say they are also investigating a stabbing at a popular downtown bar. Officers say a 21-year-old man is recovering from a stab wound tonight. He says he's not sure how he got stabbed, but it happened at the Red Rock Saloon on the 300 block of West Johnson Street right around 1:30 this morning. Anyone with information is asked to call Madison police or Madison area Crime Stoppers. A Madison man is facing potential charges for allegedly standing outside Easttown Mall naked. The Chief's blog says the 38-year-old man was still nude, holding his clothes when officers arrived. The man tried to run away, but was arrested on suspicion of lewd and lascivious behavior. As the number of opioid overdose deaths surge in Wisconsin, Madison now has doubled the number of treatment centers. The State Journal reports 2 clinics opened in Madison this year offering treatment programs and medication used in opioid addiction treatment. There were a record 883 opioid overdose deaths in Wisconsin last year. The start of the Badger football season last night made for a busy day for UW police. Officers say 19 people were arrested yesterday, 18 of them University of Wisconsin-Madison students. Despite 49 people being ejected from last night's game, only 20 citations were given out. 16 of those citations were for underage drinking. All right, let's turn it over to Dana Fulton with your first alert forecast. Hi, Dana.
Hey, Amanda. Good evening, everyone. So we actually had a little bit of the break in the rain this evening. It was a nice reprieve to dry up a little bit for our Saturday night. Looking at our radar right now, our Doppler track, you can see that break just looking over the last 6 hours. It's been dry in southern Wisconsin, but the showers starting to creep back in through Iowa and along the northern Illinois border. We are expecting some scattered shower chances for us overnight. Temps currently close to 71 in Madison, a little closer to 73 in Janesville, so it's still a little warm outside and a little muggy for us. Can't see the dew points, of course, for the sky cam. Overnight lows will fall into the upper 60s, 67 for us early tomorrow morning with that scattered shower and thunderstorm chance just lifting right up in our direction. It's going to feel a little sticky tomorrow. Afternoon highs warming up just above average with our shower and storm chance lingering. We'll take a closer look at the timing for tomorrow afternoon in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. Homeowners in Sauk County are holding out hope the rising Baraboo River won't bring more flood damage. Officials there are looking ahead to recovery efforts for the hundreds of residents already dealing with property damage. Our Madeline O'Neill has an update from Baraboo.
Very nerve-wracking.
With so much water,
it's still coming.
It can be hard for Baraboo homeowners like Nick Hepp to hold on.
And then 08 too, they said that the water came even past the house, so not even sure if it's still gonna do that or if it's gonna be worse. Just a waiting game, I guess.
Just down this aptly named road, John Thusen is playing the same game.
It's holding.
But he's not in it alone.
Everyone started sandbagging, and they were just from like the Christian school up the street, so that was a blessing. And then the city started bringing in sandbags, and this is what they did.
Everybody's really nervous.
The Baraboo River is still running high today, closing many roads in the area, but officials expect the river to crest within about 24 hours. Of course, that depends on rain. Looking at the forecast, city and county officials say they're likely in the clear for Saturday at least.
We'll watch the radar very closely.
But they're combining forces, already looking past rushing waters toward cleanup and recovery.
Recovery starts when response starts.
As of Saturday, Sauk County's emergency management director says they have about 250 reports detailing more than $3 million worth of household damage. And that's only the beginning.
We got years. This is going to be not something that's done in a week or a month. We're talking years.
My first message to them is to hold on.
Living in a community with volunteers so willing to lend a hand and a sandbag.
That's the kind of stuff that makes us strong and will make us stronger.
Gives homeowners near floodwater something to cling to.
I'm just thankful for everybody that came over and helped us.
In Baraboo,
It's holding strong.
Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
Officials urge anyone with damage to report it to the county by calling 608-355-3200, and that can help get homeowners money to rebuild and the county mitigation funds for the future. They also encourage Sauk County residents to sign up for Nixle to get emergency alerts, and you can text your area code to 888-777 to sign up for that. The original Wisconsin Ducks are being thanked for a water rescue this morning. Firefighters with the Baraboo Fire Department say around 7:30 this morning, a man in his house was surrounded by water near Highway 33 and Highway U. He wasn't in any danger, but emergency responders called in the original Ducks to help get there.
Huge public-private relationship for resources that we have, and they're more than willing to come at one phone call away, and it's a great resource to have.
The rescue went well, and the man is staying with a friend tonight. 20 years ago, the Ducks were used to rescue nearly 200 people from their homes when the Baraboo River overflowed. Flooding remains a concern here in Madison. City officials say lake levels remain high and more rain could cause more flash flooding. Some good news, though. The Capital City Trail reopened this morning at the Monona Terrace between Blair and Broome Streets. North Livingston Street next to East Wash has also reopened, but officials are still asking people to avoid parking in low-lying areas. As the community continues to deal with flooding, we want to remind you that our First Alert Weather and Traffic app is free on your mobile device. It provides accurate hour-to-hour and day-to-day forecasts, plus up-to-the-minute traffic information. Just search for Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic and download that in the App Store. A Wisconsin man and his 3 children are dead tonight after their kayak capsized near the Apostle Islands in Lake Superior on Thursday night. Wisconsin Public Radio reports authorities identified the father as 39-year-old Eric Fryman from Clark County. His 3 children were 3, 6, and 9 years old. The mother, 29-year-old Kari Moose, was the only survivor. The U.S. Coast Guard says Fryman tried swimming to safety with his children when the boat started taking on water, but they didn't make it. Severe thunderstorms caused issues for search crews, and it took 12 hours to locate all 4 bodies. Investigators are still looking for that kayak to see if there was any structural damage. Just days after closing the doors at their final locations, there are new signs Bon-Ton could be making a comeback. This comes after the more than century-old department store chain declared bankruptcy back in February. The rights to relaunch the retailer and its subsidiary brands are close to being acquired. USA Today reports the reinvented Bon-Ton would be more e-commerce focused, centering around its website. The report shows there are plans to reopen physical locations in several states, including Wisconsin and Illinois. If that happens, services like personal styling will be offered, and stores would be open for a shorter time during the week with extended hours from Thursday through Sunday. Former Bon-Ton employees would get first dibs on restaffing of those locations. The 35th annual Taste of Madison is kicking off today with local eats and drinks all across Capitol Square. The charity event offers small servings of dishes from area restaurants. Prices range from $1 to $5. Over 80 restaurants and 27 beverage stands are in attendance. There's also musical entertainment at 3 different stages around the Capitol. According to some restaurant owners, the deals offered at the event are good for their businesses too.
We actually have those people come back to our restaurant every year, and they always say, yeah, we went to Taste Madison, and yeah, we came here because of your food over there, and we want to try more food in your restaurant. Yes, I'm so happy to hear that.
The Taste of Madison typically raises $60,000 annually for local nonprofits. The festival will go into its second day tomorrow. There's a pretty strange and smelly competition happening in Sauk County this weekend. The 44th annual Cow Chip Festival brings in thousands of people to see how far they can chuck a chunk of manure. The current state record is 248 feet. Organizers say they're motivated to keep the festival going because it draws so many visitors from all over the world. We talked to 2 people who were here all the way from Brazil just for this event.
I had a really hard time just understanding and imagining how it was. Not only the chip throwing competition, but also the whole parade thing with giant cows that just poop on the street.
Organizers say the 2-day festival draws between 40 and 50,000 people each year. Next, saying their final goodbyes, House Senator John McCain's friends and family are honoring him in Washington, D.C. tonight. That's coming up. Senator John McCain was honored today with words of kindness and heartfelt tributes during a national memorial service in Washington, D.C. McCain died late last week of brain cancer. Nicole Killian reports from Washington.
Thousands bid farewell to America's maverick, Senator John Sidney McCain III, at the National Cathedral in Washington. President George W. Bush praised McCain's character and values.
Perhaps above all, John detested the abuse of power, could not abide bigots and swaggering despots. There was something deep inside him that made him stand up for the little guy.
President Barack Obama, who defeated McCain in the 2008 presidential election, reflected on the Arizona senator's love of country.
He was willing to buck his own party at times, occasionally work across the aisle on campaign finance reform and immigration reform.
Even though Senator McCain's funeral drew leaders from both sides of the aisle, at times it turned political, with veiled criticism of President Trump, who wasn't invited.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again, because America was always great.
The service weaved together themes that captured McCain's life, military sacrifice, and legacy. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, who met McCain after he was released as a prisoner of war in Vietnam, says McCain was a gift of destiny.
The world will be lonelier without John McCain.
Senator McCain will be buried during a private service on Sunday next to his best friend at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
McCain was held as a prisoner of war for 5.5 years after his plane was shot down during a bombing mission in 1967 in Vietnam. All right, let's switch to weather. We do have some rain on the way, even though nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Just kind of plug your ears if you need to. But we are talking about showers for tonight and even into the start of next week. We're just not out of the woods at this point. We've had a break for the last few hours, so if you were getting your hopes up a little bit, here's your first look at it. Our Doppler track already has the showers right at the edge of the Wisconsin and Illinois border. Some rainfall also over in Iowa right now, slowly moving up, right up towards us. We are expecting some scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight. Overall, we've been warm and humid. This front just kind of lifting to our northeast. It's expected to hang out there for a little bit. We're going to continue to see showers just lifting right again along that Wisconsin-Illinois border and stretching through Iowa overnight. And then we are going to have some more rounds of rain over the next several days. So looking ahead to this evening, you may hear some rumbles of thunder outside as we do have the chance for some stronger thunderstorms to come through early Sunday morning. May see a few light rainfall spots, but overall it's clouds in the morning, showers later in the afternoon, with again that chance for some stronger thunderstorms certainly popping up for Sunday. Same goes for our Monday trend, looking mostly cloudy in the morning and then the shower chance building back in the afternoon. Fairly scattered for us though. Just a good day to keep an eye to the sky. Rainfall totals by the end of Monday heading into early Tuesday morning right at midnight. We're anywhere from 1 inch to 2.5 inches for some areas, may even see over 3 inches for some isolated spots. Again, especially along the state line heading over towards Iowa as well. If you're traveling a little more southwest, we have the chance to see some significant rainfall. So because of this rain potential, we do have 2 alert days for Sunday and for Monday. So tomorrow and Monday, because of the rain threat adding on top of the amount of rain that we've already seen. High winds also possible for tomorrow with some thunderstorms and for late Monday, but it's really the flooding concern that we're most focused on for the next 2 days. Right now, we do have some bright twinkling lights outside. No rainfall, though, as we look at the sky cams outside. We hit a high of about 79 degrees today in the capital city. That's a little bit above average. The thing, though, our dew points were also high, so it felt sticky even at 79. We're currently sitting just a little bit cooler, about 71 right now. Calm, but that humidity again still at 90%. I was just outside. It feels like we're back in August, even though we're at September 1st already. Happy new month, everyone. Overnight lows will fall closer to 67 for us by tomorrow morning, so just a few more degrees from where we're at right now. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of about 81 degrees, pretty humid, with those storm chances popping up later on in the day for us heading into Sunday evening. That alert day is for Sunday and for Monday. We stay in the 80s for the start of the week, and then thankfully the end of the week, once we get through that rain chance on Thursday at this time, looks like we are going to be cooling down and getting a little break in the rain. But this trend of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, it's not going to be an all-day soaker, I can tell you that. But that trend of a soggy start to September, it's kind of hanging around with us.
Looking forward to that little break that we hopefully have.
Absolutely. Any chance right now to just dry up, get a little sunshine, also to help things evaporate, very good for us.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana. Well, the Badgers passed their first test of the season, but they're not satisfied yet. That story coming up next in sports.
So it took a little while to get things going, but those first game nerves and emotions now out of the way for the Badgers with win #1 of the season. Jay Wilson has a wrap-up from Camp Randall.
As you'd expect, there were some bumps along the way in the Badgers' 34-3 win over Western Kentucky, but you had to be impressed the way the Badgers got over those bumps, especially a lot of those guys who were playing their first collegiate game.
You know, a number of players that we'll be counting on got their first significant snaps, and there's nothing like playing the game, and so it was good for the team to get it going. They kept their poise, and that you appreciate, because no game's going to go perfect.
It's always a little nerve-wracking getting out there for the first time, but I think the coaches really prepared me, and also my teammates really helped me focus in, and all through the whole week I was kind of mentally preparing for this, and it was awesome to kind of get that.
And that young Badger defense with 7 new starters, you had to be impressed with the way they dealt with things, especially stopping Western Kentucky in the red zone.
We practice red zone, you know, specifically throughout practice, throughout camp. So just being able to translate what we do in practice and those red zone periods we have onto the field is always good.
Definitely trying to take everything in, just like it's practice. So when they call a play, just run it how you run it in practice. Don't try to get the whole game atmosphere into your head. Just think about the assignment and what you have to do. That's one of the biggest things, with these games.
And two impressive streaks continue for the Badgers. Their 23rd straight home opening win, and now 40 straight wins against non-conference opponents here at Camp Randall Stadium. With the Badgers, Jay Wilson, News 3 Sports.
All right, so season opener done. Here's what the rest of September looks like for the Badgers. Home for the next 2 weeks, hosting New Mexico and BYU at Camp Randall. Then the first road test is also the Big Ten opener at Iowa. Kinnick Stadium, a tough place to play. The kickoff time, though, not yet determined. Elsewhere in the Big Ten today, Oregon State visiting an Urban Meyer-less shoe. Buckeyes not missing a beat, though. First quarter here, Dwayne Haskins making his first career start. Short pass to Rashad Berry, 21-7, Ohio State. Mike Weber getting the handoff here in the second quarter, going to his left. And 49 yards later, he is in the end zone, 28-7 Buckeyes. Ohio State wins 77-31. Appalachian State visiting Penn State in Happy Valley. Late fourth quarter, last chance for the Nittany Lions here. Trace McSorley finding KJ Hamler for the clutch TD, ties the game up at 38. We needed overtime for this one. Penn State starting on offense. Miles Sanders was all they needed on that drive. Nittany Lions up 45-38. App State trying to stay alive here, but Amani Oruwariye says, not in my house. Penn State avoiding the upset, 45-38. Texas visiting Maryland, coached by interim head coach and former Badger offensive coordinator Matt Canada. The Terps running out with a flag with number 79 on it in memory of Jordan McNair, who died during practice on June 13th. First play of the game, Maryland with 10 players on offense, leaving a spot on the O-line for McNair. Texas declining the penalty. Sportsmanship on display here. And the Terps beat the Longhorns, though, upsetting them 34-29. The Packers wasting no time today finalizing the 53-man roster. It's definitely not the Ted Thompson era anymore. Among the notables cut, a good chunk of running backs, corners, and linebackers, including former Badger Vince Beagle, who didn't particularly have a great preseason, though. The Packers keeping 8 wide receivers, the most in at least 10 years, including former Whitewater standout Jake Kumaro. Meanwhile, the Bears are paying up, getting Khalil Mack from the Raiders this morning for a record-setting 6-year, $141 million. Mack is now the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history. So just to give you an idea of the breakdown here, he'll get $23.5 million per season. That includes $90 million in guaranteed money and $60 million at signing. The Bears giving up first-round picks in 2019 and 2020, a third-round pick in 2020, and a sixth-round pick in 2019. The 8th-ranked Badger volleyball team hosting second-ranked Texas tonight. Wisconsin taking the first 2. Texas gets set number 3, and here in the 4th, Madison Duello serving. Molly Haggerty with the big block there. Badgers up big halfway through. Match point here, Haggerty serving, and Tiana Williams, she will get the game winner there for the Badgers. They upset Texas in the first game of the Hotel Red Invitational. Wisconsin faces High Point tomorrow at 6. We'll be right back.
So our shower chances, guys, picking back up for us overnight. In fact, right now we're starting to see them just cross right into the Wisconsin border from Iowa and Illinois. We actually have an alert day for Sunday and Monday. Not so much because of the storm potential, just the flooding concerns with any more rain that we may get either day. And we're looking at some scattered shower chances for both days and into Tuesday and Wednesday before we drive by the end of the week.
Not out of the woods yet.
Yes.
No. Thanks for joining us.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.